Hello, what's up everyone? Gids here for another Summoners War Chronicles video, and today we are going to talk about PvP in Brawl Arena. So basically, Brawl Arena is our PvP content in the game where we face off against another summoner with their own monsters. Okay, so basically we have our pick and ban with not just the monsters but also summoner weapons. So I'll give you some tips, and of course we're going to have the gameplays. In this one, we are going to mainly be looking at Kina perspective because I mainly play Kina. I still don't have any mastery on skills of Orbia and Glyph, but I have a rough understanding on how to play against them when it comes to Brawl Arena. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Okay, for the skills, of course. So when you're trying to learn which weapon to be picking and banning, you have to have an understanding on what the skills or the elements for each weapon for each summoner should be doing. Just have a rough understanding, right? So if you're playing against a Kina, so Kina is what I usually use. So here's a quick rundown for her abilities. So basically, first ability here is a damage ability. You don't really care about this one. Second ability of Kina pushes back. So there's a pushback here, and she puts up a reflect damage for the team. Okay, and then the third ability is the most significant ability here for Kina. This is where if no team members are dead, it heals, but if there is a team member that is dead, it revives. And then the ultimate is also a revive. Okay, it's a pushback and a revive. Okay, so that's the dark weapon. That's why a lot of players are actually banning the dark weapon, wherein the light weapon is again another annoying weapon for Kina. So first ability, just DPS. Second ability is a heal. Okay, recovery received up as well, so it increases healing for the whole team, plus a heal based on 20% of the damage that was dealt. Third ability is a heal, right? So heal equal to the attack of Kina, but this one is a single target heal, right? Single target heal, but it also gives you continuous recovery, right? And then again, 40% heal, and then if the target is below 30% HP, another continuous recovery. So that's too much heals. And this one actually has 3 charges. So she can heal up to 3 times consecutively, and then it will go on cooldown for those 3 charges. Okay, so that's why a lot of people really want to ban this one, because you're usually not going to be able to kill something if Akina is on the light weapon. Okay, and then of course the ultimate is also just basically lots and lots of heals. Okay, wind weapon again, first one is just DPS that gives electric shock with the energy of wind level 5. Second ability removes harmful effects, so if you're putting up taunts, defense downs, attack breaks, those things will be removed, but it's only one. Okay, and then of course the push, signature push, and then the third skill is a strip, so it removes 2 beneficial effects from the opponent. So if you're playing as Cliff, they can use this one against you, but I think light or dark is still a priority ban for Kina. Okay, and then next up, water. Not a lot of people really use water for PvP, so yeah, again, first skill is just DPS. Second is a pushback with an attack speed up buff. So this is actually good with my comp. I could actually use this one. This is really good. But yeah, and then the third skill is basically another buff skill with a heal. So crit rate up if your team has already attack speed up. Okay, so that's the water. And then the fire weapon is another bannable weapon for Kina here. So it can inflict burn for the first skill. Then second skill is basically attack up. Okay, and decrease monster skill cooldown. So it's basically Konamiya or Teon first skill with an increased with an additional attack up, right? This one is really good. Okay, and then of course the third skill is basically another heal and some damage and invincibility if the target is low HP, so below 30% HP. So fire is also a good contingent, but usually just stick with light or dark, which one you don't want to fight usually, right? So light is a lot of healing, dark is the revive spell. Moving on to Orbia skills. So for the dark one, first ability is just an accuracy up for her. Usually all her first skill is giving her some kind of buff. and some kind of additional effect. So this one is a drain. So basically it's a life steal, increases or she heals based off the damage that she does for the first skill. Second skill is basically a debuff and drains again. So drain is life steal, rest down and movement speed down. Okay, so resistance down and movement speed down. It slows the enemy team. And then the third ability is the most significant that I don't want to be facing is unrecoverable for 7 seconds. Right? So this one is the most annoying part of Orbia's kit when you're facing against her as Kina. So I usually just ban the dark one. Okay, light one. Okay, first one increases crit rate for the first ability. Second ability is a strip. So if you're Cliff, you might want to take this one out, and it blocks beneficial effects for 11 seconds if you successfully strip something. So it can strip your endure buffs, your glowy invincibilities, your shields from bastet or attack buffs. Okay, so yeah, and then it can block you from getting those ones for 11 seconds, which is very, very strong as well. And the third skill is basically a DPS ability. If the target has no beneficial effect, then you get bonus damage. Next up is wind, another potential ban here for this weapon. So attack down on the first one, and this one ignores death denial effect. So endure buff for Cleave will be ignored by this ability. So the first ability. So another ability that you can actually just ban off from Orbia. Second ability is a death down, right? So when you're attacking with this one, this is giving you death down. Right, so if you don't want death down, then probably this one is your ban, right? And then the third skill is basically more additional damage and damage taken up. So basically branding if the opponent already has a level 3 death down. Okay, so very, very strong. I forgot to cover the ults because I never saw them. So there's a stun rate here, and of course just a lot of damage for Orbia and damage drain for dark one. Then for light, if no beneficial effect, then more damage again. So basically dark is lifesteal, second is strip, third skill is harmful effects, right? This one is based on harmful effects and death denial. Then water, for the water ultimate, it's more on CC. So yeah, water is also an annoying weapon from Orbia, but not as much as the dark and wind weapons. But anyways, first skill is a freeze, so it can freeze you. Second is increase CC duration by 3 seconds. So if you're already frozen, it makes you frozen for longer. And the third one is, this one is really good actually if you hit this one. If the target is CC'd, deal more damage and you can steal 1 mana from the opponent. So really good for PvP if you can actually land this one. And again, we already checked this one. There is a freeze chance here if the opponent is not CC'd. Okay, but if he is CC'd, then more damage. Last one is the fire one. So for the basic one, or the first skill is applying burn and increase burn duration if it's already burned. Second one is another burn and resist down. And third one is additional damage based on how much burn the enemy has. So there's just so much burn here. So basically a lot of DPS. And then for the special ability, another stun here and depth penetration if low HP. Okay. So that's it for Orbia. I don't think we have anything to look up here for the passive. I forgot to check with Kina, but anyways, there's not much notable passives, I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong though. Okay, so lastly, we check on Leaf's abilities. So for Dark one, first ability is a crit rate down and a knockdown. And if the target is provoked, you get a heal. So this one's really good for Cleave actually. Second ability, so if the opponent has crit rate down, then you also have this bonus ability here that will bring up your crit res up. And then the third ability is basically your provoke for 7 seconds and another provoke for 7 seconds. Wait, what? And then reflect damage and damage taken down. So it's basically a provoke with tanky abilities or tank buffs, right? And then his ultimate is an airborne and provoke plus an endure for 5 seconds. So there's actually a lot of stuff going on with Cliff here. And if you didn't know, Cliff's damage actually scales with his defense. That's why sometimes he actually hits like a truck, even though he's very, very tanky. Okay, and something to note of with Cliff's abilities here, there is a passive here somewhere. Where is it? This thing. So if Cliff receives lethal damage, he will have an endure buff and continuous recovery that will come up. Okay, so this one goes up for every level, so 10-second endure and 15 seconds continuous recovery. That's why it's very hard to take him down, actually. Okay, so that's the dark weapon. For the light weapon, light weapon is basically a blink. This one blinks on the enemy and he blinds the enemy. And of course, if provoke, 30% damage up. Second ability, if the enemy is blinded, then you'll be able to airborne and silence the opponent. And for the third ability, it has an invincibility and provoke. So I usually like banning this thing. It's either this one or the fire one if I'm Kina. Okay. For the wind one, for the ultimate, it's basically a stun. Okay. It's just a stun. For the wind one here, this one is damage. I think this is a lot of damage and shield. So this one is shield and airborne for the first ability. Second ability, if the enemy or if you have a shield, then you can airborne the opponent. So a lot of CCs here. And then last one is def up plus provoke. Ultimate is airborne and def up. Okay, so huge tank stats here. For the water one, so there's a push here. Push and attack down. And then if the enemy has attack down, you get attack speed down as well. Okay, and then for the second ability, if the target has attack down already, then you can airborne them and accuracy down for 15 seconds. Right, and then for the third ability, attack down and again provoke for 10 seconds. Right, and then the ultimate, attack down and attack speed down for 13 seconds plus an airborne. Right, and lastly, we have the fire weapon here, stun for the first ability and lava attack. So you can actually use this one again if you defeat an enemy. Right, so yeah, second ability, if the enemy if the target has CC or is stunned or whatever, stun, frozen, whatever, then you can put on an unrecoverable. So that's why I sometimes ban this one on Cliff, against Cliff. And then the third ability is, this one has a lot here, but he's getting a heal, attack up, and if the target has unrecoverable, damage dealt up. So basically a mix of unrecoverable, stuns plus damage on fire. So DPS potential for fire and for wind. So that's what they're trying to do. And of course, sustain and stuns with light and dark. Okay, so those are basically all the skills of the summoners. So you basically want to learn them or have a basic understanding of how they work so that you know which ones to ban when you're facing against them if you have a certain comp in mind for Brawl. Okay, so let's go on to the battles. Here we are with Brawl. We have 1 hour 42 minutes left. I'm at gold 1 currently with 40% win rate. Is because we were using Mustaza last time, right? But for our history, we were able to get to gold 2 last week with a good win rate as well, around 580, 74% win rate. Okay, so I have a pretty good understanding with what you want to play or how you want to play this as a free-to-play player. So let's start so that I can show you right away. Okay, so first up is the picking and banning phase. For every fight in the Brawl Arena, you're going to have a pick and ban phase. First phase is to ban weapons. And usually when I face against Orbia players, we usually want to ban the dark weapon. The reason why the dark weapon is because dark weapon has unrecoverable debuff for the witch or for Orbia. Okay, after banning, you're going to be in selection mode or which weapon you want to select. Usually I want to go light or dark. I'll go dark this time for the revives, and now they get the first pick. Usually first pick we want to get Bastet. The problem is they got Bastet, so this is a big problem for me because I usually really want to take Bastet first. But since they took Bastet, another way to play this is to just take the units that most players will have built by now. So those monsters are usually Theon, Konamiya, Chloe, Bastet, or Naomi, right? So pick those. Basically picking this monsters is just saying that you are actually just banning it for them. Oh my god. So they have Xingqie. We're probably gonna bring these two. So during the pick and ban phase, you usually want to have 2 support or tank units and then 2 DPS, just so you have a pretty balanced team, because you don't want a full DPS team or a team without a healer in your team usually. because it's going to be really hard to sustain, especially when we go with the dark weapon. We want to sustain, we want to play for the long game, and yeah, we want to stay around. Okay, so looking at the opponent's composition here, I think they have so much damage and they just have Bastet as the support. I feel like they're going to be banning Chloe here. I think we ban Bastet here. Yeah, I think we ban Bastet here. Oh, he bans Karambit. Okay. Okay, that's unexpected. We still play with Theon as our Soul Link monster. The problem here is we might get assassinated by the Martial Cat and hell yeah. Right, so we're gonna try to run around as much as we can because we don't want to get... Okay, we're almost killing his monkey. Push him back. Okay, actually we just win this. His stats are very low. His monkey was very, very squishy and he already quit. Okay. So yeah, you can see from the pick and ban phase, usually a lot of battles are already won from the pick and ban phase. So as you can see, we know almost everyone will have a well-built Bastet Sekhmet because of the event with Bastet. So whenever I see a Bastet or Sekhmet in the opponent's team, usually that's a good target for banning, right? So usually that's the most well-built monsters, and then of course it's going to be followed by Theon, Naomi, Chloe, all those units right there. But it looks like this guy does not have good builds on his monster, so my team was just able to rip through him, and of course Elemental Advantage with Bulldozer was able to take his wind monsters down. And again, he has no sustain. There is no sustain on his side, so he will not be able to take long fights. And yeah, since the fights went long, I was able to win. Now let's go again. Okay, another Orbia player. So again, we're just going to ban Dark Weapon. So he bans my Dark Weapon as well, so no revives for us, but we'll be taking Light for the sustains. It's either Light or Fire. Usually depending on how I want to play the game. So Light for more sustains or Fire for huge DPS. I could probably test out Fire here. Okay, they went with Light, which is a strip. We usually just, whenever we get first pick, we always take the stat here. Okay, and we see Chloe and Sekhmet pick here. With those picks, we can just go with Karambit because Karambit ignores invincibility from Chloe, and we just ban out Sekhmet. And of course, our next picks here are usually just Theon and Naomi, just to take those away from the opponent as well, because they will not be able to pick it now. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I see a good game plan here. Okay. What we want to do is to just try to assassinate Orbia, ban Sekhmet. They have no damage. As soon as we kill Orbia, we should be good. So we have two assassins that will be going in as soon as they can, and we're going to try to follow them and give them an attack buff. Okay. We ban this one and we pick Theon. Okay. Theon as the Soul Link. Okay. The problem here is they have Konamiya as their Soul Link, so they might be able to try to survive. So we're just going to follow along here. Let's go, let's go. Nice one. Okay, so he's dead. This is basically a win for me. Karambit is a huge counter against Chloe in Bastet and any shielding basically, right? And he just surrenders. He has no damage, right? We kill the damage dealer, which is Orbia, and we're good. We have two assassins that dove him right away, and yeah, basically Karambit MVP in these kinds of fights. So that's why I really like putting in Karambit against Orbias, right? They don't know how the mechanics work, right? Orbia has a mechanic where when she receives a killing blow, she puts up a huge shield. The problem with that shield is Karambit ignores that shield, right? So Karambit is a good counter against Orbia players, but they don't know yet. They don't know that yet. So by the time this video comes out, Karambit might be banned a lot by Orbia players. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Right. The problem with Karambit though is he is also very squishy. So if the opponents target him first, then I have a huge chance of losing, but with a revive comp Theon plus a dark weapon, it should be okay. We should just be timing it correctly. Okay, another Orbia player. So I think you can just see a pattern here already against Dark. So let's go with Fire again for more DPS. Okay, they went with Fire. Fire has burn damage, I think, from them. Okay, okay. So we take this and this again, right? Oh, they have Argan. Oh, Espino. Wow, this is stacked. I ban Espino here basically. We don't want the Espino here. Espino is gonna be able to kill Karambit easily. Okay, Karambit went for Argan first, I guess. Oh no. Come on. Do something. Oh, we killed him. We killed the 2 DPS. He lost here. Yep, GG's. We killed the Argan, we killed the Orbia. Damn, we had so much damage. What the hell happened there? We had so much damage. Yeah. Karambit just dealt so much damage there against the Argan and Orbia. So yeah. Basically, against these kinds of matchups, I'm favored. But when we start fighting Cleaves, that's a huge problem for me. I really don't like fighting against Cleave. Because he can just taunt my Karambit away and sustain. So yeah, and Karambit's damage does not go through Endure, so we have to switch to a wind weapon usually. But when you're facing against Cliff, you usually just want... Okay, this is a good demonstration. For Cliff, I usually want to ban Light, Dark, or Fire. Fire has unrecoverable and stun, but Light and Dark is also very strong for Cliff. But yeah, we'll go with Fire. And then we go with Dark here since they banned my Fire. Okay. They are first pick, so they might take Bastet. So they did not take Bastet, so I'll take Bastet and Theon again, banning it from the opponent team. Okay, so he took all my picks here, so I'm gonna be picking this guy and this guy. He might just ban Karambit here, actually. Oh, Rigel. Okay. Basically, it's still a Sekhmet ban. Ooh. Oh. It's a Theon. Okay. He's gonna try to assassinate me with the Martial Cat. Hopefully we don't die. He's trying to go for me. Okay, Martial Cat is dead. Martial Cat is dead. Should be okay here. I'm just gonna run around. Has invincibility on. Let's go. Karambit. More damage, please. I can't really focus anything else because he keeps on taunting me. He just keeps on taunting me. The shields from Bastet is keeping us alive. I needed to delay the fights more. He's already starting to focus Karambit here, which is bad for me. Okay, he has his ult already. Wow. Okay, we killed Rigel. We get to heal here. And another shield. And we get our ult. And another shield. We win. From this point, we switch to our wind weapon so that we get to strip him when we need to. I think he's already dead though. Nice. Okay. So, yeah. The game plan with facing against Cleave is to just try to kill his TPS, and then you're going to have an endurance battle who lasts longer, right? So if ever you can last longer than him, you're most likely going to win, right? Because Karambit's going to deal a lot of damage, and since we had our dark weapon, we will have revives as well. So the longer the fights go on, the better for us. Okay, and since they don't have a DPS, that's good for us as well. Okay, probably one more fight here. We're going to be using 5 tickets. Okay, let's see. Okay, Kina. Okay, now, the problem with facing Kina is I know how annoying the heals can be, so I usually just want to ban Light or Dark here. Both are very annoying. The revives are very strong. Ooh, what do I ban here? Just go with light. Okay. Oh, I should have went with fire. Actually, should have went with fire here. Fire would have been great. He might take my Bastet here. Yep. We are in danger. Ooh, man. Bastet segment, huh? Okay. Oh, wow! Wow! Zerato pick. Oh my god. I feel like that Zerato is not gonna be built though. Can we ban this guy? Ah, shit, he bans Karambit. Huge problem for us. Okay, Zerato might kill me here. Zerato might just kill me here. They have to push their backline. Oh my god! That hurts! Zerato, please stop. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me! Oh my god. Yeah, okay. That Zerato is well built. Man! We just leave this. We can't win against that Zerato. My god. That was so strong. What the hell? What the hell, man? How do you even get that? Everyone just whips out their LDs here. Usually LD units are really good for PvP too, so they have so much things going on with them. That's why they're really, really good. So, oh well. Can't do anything about it. At least we end up at gold 2 again. We're gonna try to push for gold 3 this week, probably. But yeah, that's pretty much it here for me. So, of course, always leave a like if this one helps you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And leave comments down below for your thoughts on gameplay tips or PvP tips for other players as well. If you're using Kina, Orbia, or Cleave, especially for Cleave and Orbia players, if you want to share your tips for PvP, write them down in the comments below. And of course, see you again next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.